when you were talking about you and told me you were quitting, I go, he isn't quitting. I mean, if he walks away from this, nothing's going to be as satisfying. And he's still a young man. This is what I said about he'll continue. And you did. You signed up for another 3 years.
Yeah, and also like being wanted is important too.
Yeah.
ABC wanting me to stay, which I didn't know. I was like, oh, maybe they want to, maybe they want to start over. Maybe the people running the network now want to find a person of their own and put their imprint and have somebody for the next 20 years or who knows. But
Yeah.
yeah, ultimately it was just like I think I was having a hard time with the leaving part of it. And I don't mean just like leaving, I mean just what you need to go through, the emotional toll that takes of like, okay, you got 6 months now, you got to wrap it up. And it was easier for me to go, you know what, I'll worry about that in 3 years.
You know what? For me, it is. It's like when you have something successful going on where you're wanted and all of that. How do you walk away from that? I don't understand it. It's like,
Especially when you're from radio like we are
right,
and you get
right.
fired and you're barely
That's
scratching
right.
it together and just trying to make something happen. And, I was fired from most of my radio jobs and most of them didn't last a year. And each time I went into it with high hopes, I'd move across the country. I had 2 little kids. I'd go from, Seattle to Phoenix to Tampa to Palm Springs to Tucson to LA. I had all these different jobs and I finally got a job where they liked me in LA at K-Rock. And I was really like reluctant to leave even when the
Right.
Man Show became popular. It was just a matter of, there weren't enough hours in the day for me to stay. And I think back to that and I think back, and I mean, I never made more than $60,000 a year, until like I was 3 years into K Rock, and most of those jobs I made much less than that. So the idea of quitting a job is, I don't know. It's like I can't imagine explaining that to my 25-year-old self.
Right. Yeah. That's how I feel too. So,
Right.
good. I'm glad you're staying on. I feel good about it. It actually gives me comfort.